There are moments when you open your phone just to check something for a few minutes, but somehow an hour passes by and you don't even remember what you were watching. There are days when you genuinely want to focus. You want to study. You want to work. You want to improve your life. But your mind feels like it's being pulled in 100 different directions. Everything feels harder to pay attention to. Even a short video feels too long sometimes. And the moment something becomes slightly difficult, your brain already wants to escape. And maybe the strangest part is this. We are living in the most convenient generation in history. Yet somehow, people today feel more mentally exhausted, more distracted, more unmotivated, and more emotionally empty than ever before. Maybe the problem is not that we became weaker. Maybe the modern world is slowly exhausting our minds. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Owen. Today, Alex and I are going to talk about something that so many people are silently struggling with right now. Why it's becoming harder to focus. Why motivation disappears so quickly. Why our brains constantly feel tired. And why even the things we used to enjoy are starting to feel dull. I don't think this is simply about being lazy anymore. I think it has a lot to do with social media, fast dopamine, constant stimulation, and the fact that our brains are never truly resting anymore. And today, I'm really glad to have Alex here with me for this conversation.
Thanks for having me, Owen. And honestly, I think this is one of the biggest silent struggles of modern life. Because a lot of people think they've lost motivation, when in reality, they've just been mentally overloaded for too long.
I think phones and social media have completely changed the way our brains work. Years ago, people could sit quietly, read for hours, focus deeply on one thing. But now, just a few minutes without stimulation feels uncomfortable.
Exactly. Our brains are getting used to receiving dopamine constantly. The moment we feel bored, stressed, or uncomfortable, we instantly open TikTok, scroll social media, watch short videos, or search for something to entertain ourselves. The problem is, when your brain becomes addicted to fast stimulation, real life starts feeling too slow.
And I think that's why so many people can't focus on books anymore, struggle to study, lose concentration after a few minutes, and constantly check their phones without even realizing it.
The scary part is, many people no longer know how to sit alone with their own thoughts. Their minds always need noise, entertainment, notifications, or distractions. And slowly, their ability to focus deeply disappears.
I think many people today are living in a very strange emotional state, where nothing truly excites them anymore.
Exactly. Some people spend hours every day scrolling, consuming content, watching endless videos. Yet somehow they feel emptier and emptier inside. Because the brain is becoming overstimulated. And once that happens, normal life starts feeling emotionally flat.
I actually went through a period like that myself. There was a time when the first thing I did every morning was check my phone, then work on videos, check analytics, consume more content, and continue scrolling late into the night. Every single day felt the same. And one day I suddenly realized I wasn't excited about anything anymore.
And I think many people are secretly experiencing that right now. They think they're lazy. But the truth is, their minds are exhausted.
Even the things they once loved. Music, movies, books, dreams, passions start feeling dull.
And honestly, the scariest part isn't feeling tired. It's slowly getting used to living without feeling alive.
I think another major problem is that many people are trapped in the same cycle every single day.
Exactly. Wake up, check the phone. Do repetitive tasks. Feel tired, scroll again. Before sleeping, watch more short videos. And then repeat the exact same day tomorrow. It looks harmless, but slowly it drains the life out of people.
I once heard someone say, "The brain is like a muscle. If you stop challenging it, it becomes weaker."
That's completely true. Humans need challenge, curiosity, growth, goals, and new experiences. Without those things, life slowly turns into survival instead of living.
I honestly think the human brain was never designed to process this much information every day.
Exactly. Every single day we consume news, drama, social media, notifications, emails, short-form content, and endless information. The problem is, most of that information adds no real value to our lives.
But our brains still have to process all of it.
And over time, people become mentally overwhelmed, distracted, emotionally tired, and unable to think deeply anymore. A lot of people think scrolling is rest. But the truth is, their brains never actually get a chance to rest.
I think one of the biggest lies people believe today is, "I need motivation before I start."
When in reality, most days people don't feel motivated at all. There are days when you don't want to study, don't want to work, don't want to talk to anyone, and barely want to get out of bed.
And if you keep waiting for motivation to magically return, you might wait forever.
One of the most important things I've learned is this: motivation does not come before action. It comes after you begin. Sometimes you don't need to completely change your life overnight. Sometimes you just need to take a short walk, drink some water, clean your desk, stretch for a few minutes, or finish one small task. Let your body guide the rest.
And every time you survive one of those difficult days, it's not about proving anything to other people. It's about being able to look back later and say, "I didn't give up on myself." I think what many people need right now is not more stimulation. It's less.
Exactly. Because the more emotionally exhausted people become, the more they search for entertainment, distractions, fast dopamine, and temporary escapes. But the result is, the more they scroll, the emptier they feel, the more tired their minds become.
Maybe the answer isn't to run faster. Maybe we simply need to allow our minds to breathe again.
Sometimes healing looks very simple. It can be sleeping properly, walking outside, reducing screen time, reading again, spending quiet time alone, or simply sitting in silence for a while. Humans were never designed to receive non-stop stimulation every minute of the day.
I think one of the saddest things today is that many people are no longer truly living. They are simply trying to kill time every day. Scroll more. Watch more. Distract themselves more. Until one day, they no longer know what they truly want from life anymore.
But I still believe it's not too late. The brain can recover. Motivation can return. Life can feel meaningful again. Little by little.
Motivation is like fire. It can burn beautifully, but it can also disappear very quickly.
And in the end, the thing that helps people move forward was never temporary inspiration. It was the ability to keep going, even on the days when nobody applauds for them.
And maybe one day, you'll look back at the older version of yourself and realize the hardest part was never changing your life. It was learning how to overcome yourself every single day.
And maybe that is the real challenge of growing up.
Thank you, Alex, for today's conversation.
Thanks for having me, Owen.
And thank you everyone for listening. If you have any thoughts, experiences, or opinions about today's topic, feel free to leave a comment below. I genuinely love to read them and learn from you guys too. This is still a new podcast channel, so your support honestly means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and support the channel. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next episode.